Hi everyone, in this video we would like to discuss about reflective model versus formative model. I have already discussed in my previous videos reflective model in PLS-SIM using Smart PLS. I have already explained you and definitely I would share this link in my description box. And before proceeding for formative model, first of all, we should understand difference between where we are going to apply reflective model, where we are going to apply formative model. So number one is in reflective model, measures are caused by the latent constructs. But in the formative model, all these things are measures cause the latent constructs. I have already explained you in the previous video construct. This is the construct. And all these are my three statements. So we can say in this model, these are my measures. These are, we can say, statements. We can say items, right? There are the three items, x1, x2, and x3. And this one is the construct. So we can say here, measures are caused by the latent construct. That means due to these construct, all these statements are here. But vice versa, we can see here in the formative model, these measures cause the latent construct. Due to these latent construct, due to these measures, they are making this construct, right? So this is the one basic difference between formative and reflective model. So quickly, we have to go for this. What are the other features? Like correlation between the indicators should be high, right? Here is, we can see here, we had already applied. So I mean, correlation between all these variables, it should be high. That is preferred because all these statements are saying the same thing. All these statements are explaining same thing. And this one is the related to this construct. But in this formative model, correlation can be positive or negative, or it can be zero. It could be positive, it could be negative, or it could be zero. Next, we come to the each item here is reflect construct. That means if suppose we are deleting one item, let's say we will delete this X item. So rest of the items, because each item is reflecting this construct. So it doesn't make any sense if this item is deleted, right? And when we talk about, if let's say this item is correlation is very low, so we should try to delete this item. But in this case, all items collectively form this construct. So we could not be able to delete this item. But when there is the multicollinearity issue between these items, so definitely when there's the highly correlated any item, we should drop that item. That means we can say, if suppose there is the high correlation in between x1 and x2, that means we are saying both the parameters are almost same. So there is no use we are carrying in multiple correlation. This is a kind of multiple regression. So we are carrying both the statements. There is no that is not required. So what we have to do, we have to drop. If there's the multicollinearity issue here, so we will drop this item in this case. Next, we come to the we can remove any statement, as I said, and we cannot remove any statement. I'm sorry, here is the we cannot remove any statement. Next one is the each statement reflects same meaning, and in this case formative model, each statement has different meaning. Yes, of course. Let's say I'm giving you an example. Let's say you would like to purchase any second-hand car. So second-hand car, definitely you would like to go for this, how it's looking, whether it is in a good condition. Second thing is, what is, how much, what is, how much kilometers it has already completed. Or we can say here is, what is the we can say condition, right? So if suppose, then only we have to purchase this car, then we have to judge the value of this car, the second hand car. But in this case, let's say, we want to check some quality, let's say happiness index. So we have a similar kind of statements, all are reflecting, all are showing this, the construct, right? All these statements are similar to each other. Next, we come to the construct leads to item. Construct leads to item. And in this formative case, items leads to construct. And that is reflecting here. This construct is leading to all these items. That means these items because of this construct. But in this formative model, these items leading to this construct. That means I said a old one car, second-hand car we would like to purchase. So it depends upon all these three parameters. Then only I have to judge what should be the value of this particular second-hand car, right? Then we come to the, I would like to share one example also. Let me finish this part first. In this reflective model, convergent validity, loading, right, that should be greater than 0.5, AV should be greater than 5, CR is composite reliability, that should be greater than 0.7. So these things are required when we are going for reflective model. But when we are going to for this formative model, so we require content validity. And how you have to judge content validity, whether all these statements are helpful to making this construct or not. Simply you have to go by content. And significance level, of course, we have to check there is the t value. If it is greater than 1.96, so that means that is t value, that means the significance value is here. We can these statements are not related to each other. That means we are discarding null hypothesis. So no need to, here is in this case, no need to check multicollinearity, rather it is required. But in this case, multicollinearity check, it is very, very important, because there should not be multicollinearity issue in the formative model. Then the outer loading in PLS-SAM using PLS, right? In this software, when we are running reflecting model, we will focus on outer loading results, right? But in this case, formative model, we will ignore these outer loading, only we will focus on outer weight in PLS-SAM using smart PLS. And because outer weight, it will reflect formative model, and outer loading, it is reflecting reflective model. Now, most of the researchers, they were asking me this kind of question: is it any rule all the first order factors are reflective and all the higher order factors are formative? So answer is this: no. It depends upon the type of questions, that indicators are causing or caused by the latent variable or the construct. Right. So it depends upon the what kind of questions you have in your research work. Indicators, here is the most important thing: indicators are causing or caused by the latent variable, as I had already shown you, explained you with the help of the example, with the help of this diagram. So now I would like to show you one file. Here is reflective versus formative. This is the reference already I had given. And this model has been used by in this research paper. Here is the reflective timeliness, x1, x2, x3. What is x1? Accommodate last minute request. x2 is punctuality in meeting deadlines. x3 means speed of returning phone calls. All the three statements are reflecting the same thing, timeliness. They are making this construct. This construct is, so indicator must be highly correlated, and all these indicators should be highly correlated to each other because almost these statements are similar. But in the formative, here is life stress, x1, x2, x3, all these three statements collectively making this particular construct. So x1 is job loss, x2 is divorce, x3 is recent accident, and all these are leading to the life stress. So if you would ask a question, a person, why you are feeling stressed, so might be this, might be one cause, two cause, three cause, but it is just because of all the reasons this person is feeling stressed. So indicators here is, in this case, they should be highly correlated, but in this case, that is not required. Indicator can be positive or negative, or there is zero correlation. So I'm sure this part, this video would be helpful to you. And in the next video, we will interpret a formative model in the Smart PLS with the help of the Smart PLS software. Thanks for watching. Thank you.